Hello, Jennifer Priest here, and I want to show you some really cool, quick and easy cards that you can make using some ColorBox Spritzers, our Stephanie Barnard sprays, Izink Pigment Acrylic Ink, and Craft Attitude Transfer Film, and some Westcott Scissors. So the first thing we're going to do is take these creative cards from Clearsnap, and they come packaged like this. There's 5 in a package. They're pre-printed with a black and white design, and then they also come with 5 envelopes. I'm going to take these cards and we're just going to spray them with our spray ink. And I want to get kind of a mixed effect here. So I'm going to spray with a little bit of one color, and then I'm going to go in with another color to spray. And to get that to be a little less intense, I'm going to go and hit this with some water. And this is going to make all of the ink start to kind of run together and blend. And the cards that are in here vertical, the ink is going to run. So these are actually called color catchers. They're from Clearsnap, and they're made so that you can use them with spray ink. Now for this brown one, instead of spraying it, I'm just going to take the stopper out, and I'm just going to tap the sprayer so that the straw end has ink come out of it. So this is just going to give me some distressing kind of effect. And again, the color catcher is protecting my work surface here so that I don't make it all messy. Now I can take a heat gun to dry those, or I can blot them with a paper towel. So I'm going to heat gun it. Okay, so I have a variety of supplies here. I have a glue stick. I also have some Craft Attitude film that I have cut out, and I'm going to show you how that works. And I have some blending tools here from Clearsnap, as well as some pigment ink cues. These are little stacks of 3 colors of pigment ink, and I'm using that because it blends well. And then I also have a stamp, some ColorBox Pigment Ink in bronze, and some embossing powder. Now, what I'm going to do is use these Westcott scissors. These are extremely sharp, really great non-stick scissors, and they cut through basically any surface. And what I like about them being non-stick is that I can cut like a piece of duct tape, and then I can transition to cutting something that's a little bit more delicate, like this Craft Attitude film. And I don't have to worry about there being like blobs of adhesive on my scissors that's going to mess up my Craft Attitude film. So these are like the best scissors. I love them, and they're very, very sharp. So just be cautious when working with them, but they cut through really anything. So I have all my images cut out, and what I'm going to do is apply them to my cards here. And I've got to make sure that my cards are really, really dry. Now I'm going to just apply the Craft Attitude with my glue stick. I like this Xyron corner glue stick. It's actually really dirty because I was using it for a demo. But I like it because it actually gets into corners, and it has like a straight edge and a curved edge. So depending on what you're trying to glue, it's really great for getting all the way to the edge, but not, you know, sometimes if you go to the edge and then you go the wrong direction, you'll get like little slivers of glue on the wrong side. I don't get that with this because I can just go right to the edge. I don't have to go over and off the edge. So I'm going to put all of my adhesive on the image side of this, and then I'm going to, whoops, let's make sure my card's the right way, apply it to my paper. And so you're basically putting glue on the back. When you print this, you're printing it on the back of the Craft Attitude film. So this is just the image from the Graphics Fairy that I got from her site, a royalty-free image. Printed it on my Craft Attitude, and basically I'm printing on the back of the film, and that's also where I'm going to put the adhesive, so that when I peel off the sheeting, it's going to reveal the front of the image. So if you're printing words, you want to make sure that they're kind of the reverse image is what you have going on. Now I want to kind of make the edges of this look a little bit better, so I'm going to take some, you know, they don't have definition, they're kind of lost in the edge. I'm going to take some pigment ink here and just kind of blend it on the edges. And within this cue, I have several colors of ink. I'm going to use a little bit of this kind of navy-ish blue color to give me a little bit more dimension to my edges here. And then I'm going to use this rolling stamp to add a little bit more dimension with a different color of ink. So this is a dye-based ink. It's an antiquing ink, so it's kind of subtle. This is called Decades ink by Graphic 45 and ColorBox. And all I'm going to do is take my Rollograph stamp wheel that has a script stamp on it, and I just want to use this to give some subtle texture here to the edges of my image, but I don't want too much, and I don't want to go over her face. Okay. So I'm going to repeat this on the rest of my cards. And I might do some of the stamping first. Oh, this one's still pretty wet. So the Craft Attitude film, the glue is not going to stick if the card is still really wet. So we want to make sure that we got most of that dry. Alright, so now that I have my images on, I want to take my sentiment stamp and stamp it with this pigment ink. And sometimes it's a little easier to take the ink pad and press it to the stamp. That way you can make sure that it's getting good coverage. And you can also do like a little practice stamp like on your paper towel or whatever. So let's get all this inkied up really good. Now you can't really see him very well, but I'm going to put some embossing powder and that's going to help. This is actually the old style of embossing powder from Clearsnap, so we have a new one coming out with cute little tubs, kind of, and those work really well. So I'm going to put my embossing powder on each item, and then I will emboss all of them together. And now I'm going to start heat setting these. So hopefully the embossing powder that I don't want to set, it'll blow away at the initial burst of the heat gun. And then the last thing I want to do is add some pigment Izink. So this is an acrylic and pigment ink all in one. And it's just really fun. Like, I like to kind of tap it and make some splatters. And then we'll set those aside to dry. You can heat gun them too. But it just gives it this kind of different look. I don't know if I want a big blob on a lady's head, but while I was at CHA, I got these adorable little skeins of Lion Brand yarn, and so I thought these would be really fun to add here to my card. So I got these two kind of brownish colors, and I'm just going to put them here on the spine of the card. Let's see, we'll pull this one down. And they have like a little bit of shimmer in them. They're almost kind of like a fancy baker's twine. And I just thought this will add just a little bit of whimsy and fun to these cards. So tie this yarn here on the spine in a bow. And again, this isn't too bulky, so it's still really easy to mail. And it just makes kind of a fun little card. And it helps tie the colors together. So I'll do those two with this color. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that these cards gave you some ideas of some fun ways that you can kind of get a little mixed media on your greeting cards. use yarn and some other unexpected items on your cards to make them special. And then also how to use Craft Attitude film to create some cool graphics for your greeting cards. Thanks so much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button at the end of the video, and we have new videos almost every day here showing fun, cool new tutorials. Thanks so much. Have a great day.